Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to Rahman Digital Production. This is lecture number 47 of Physics 5054. In today's lecture, we will discuss in greater detail the concept of Kelvin or absolute scale. Ladies and gentlemen, it is named after an Englishman, Lord Kelvin. The scale is based on the triple point of water. Now, what is triple point of water? First, we have to understand that concept. Triple point of water is that point in which pure water exists in three different states in the equilibrium form, that is gaseous state, liquid state, and the vapor state or steam. So let us first discuss this point. The triple point of water is used to define the Kelvin, the base unit of thermodynamic temperature in the International System of Units, SI. As we discussed that earlier, that Kelvin is the SI unit of thermodynamic temperature. The triple point of water is, now ladies and gentlemen, it will be 273.16 Kelvin and 0.01 degrees Celsius and 32.018 degree Fahrenheit. These are the 3 points in which we are having water at the same in the equilibrium form. So these three temperatures refer to the same point in different scales: Kelvin scale, Celsius scale, and Fahrenheit scale. The triple point of a substance, the triple point of a substance is the temperature and pressure at which three phases, gas, liquid, and solid of that substance coexist. There is a liquid of which gaseous, liquid, and solid, three different states coexist in thermodynamic equilibrium. That will be the thermodynamic equilibrium. Ladies and gentlemen, one important thing. Uh, to reconcile the Kelvin scale and centigrade scale, another scale is introduced that is called Celsius scale. That is creating the relationship between Kelvin and centigrade scale. So we will give them a new name which is called Celsius scale. So ladies and gentlemen, that is theta per degree Celsius is equal to temperature in Kelvin, temperature and in Kelvin minus 273.5. 15. That is the relation. In this case, you will have to call this as a Celsius scale, not centigrade scale. This Celsius scale, once again, I am repeating that it is introduced to create a relationship between Kelvin scale and the centigrade scale. These are the temperature, which is Celsius, and that is the unit for the scale is Kelvin, which is the SI unit for temperature. In this, if T is the temperature of the Kelvin, if the temperature of the T is Kelvin, here the temperature theta is the temperature on Celsius scale. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very important relationship. Now, this relationship is used to convert Celsius to Kelvin and Kelvin to Celsius. So, this is the temperature. Uh, the interval on both the Kelvin and Celsius are the same by definition. That is, 1 Kelvin is nearly equal to 1 degree. You have to remember that 1 Kelvin is nearly equal to 1 degree, and we will derive this concept later on in this lecture, and I will refer to that this is the relationship. So, ladies and gentlemen, there is temperature which is called absolute zero, and that on Kelvin scale is 0 Kelvin, and there is Celsius scale which is minus 273. So 0 Kelvin is equal to minus 273 degrees Celsius. Now, when it is increased to 0, it will also increase by that much amount. So, if it is going to 273 from negative 273, so we will say that it will be 0 degree Celsius. And steam point, this is ice point. In Kelvin ice point, yeah, the freezing point is 273 Kelvin and 0 degrees Celsius. We know that in advance. Steam point in Celsius scale, we understand that that is positive 100 degrees Celsius. But now, when 100 is added to 273, which is this one, at 0, so it means it is increasing to 100. To 100 will be added to 273. So 373 Kelvin will be the steam point of pure melting water. Okay, to clear this concept, let us do few work example which will clear our concept, and these work examples are given on the page number 120. Work example 8.3 is saying the temperature of a baby having high fever is found to be 40 degrees Celsius. So, what is this temperature in Kelvin? K is equal to theta plus 273 and K is equal to 40 plus 273, which is equal to 313 Kelvin. Now in this case we have to do another thing, and they are saying the temperature in the Antarctic during midwinter is found to be 186 Kelvin. So we have to put 186 Kelvin. 186 Kelvin minus 273, and that comes out to be minus 87 degree Celsius. They're wanting us to convert that to Celsius. We don't have to change or move any quantity to the other side, because we have to find in Celsius. Kelvin is given. Instead of Kelvin we have to put 186 minus 273 is the constant value. When we subtract it from smaller value, the larger value, the sign will be negative, and that is minus 87 degree Celsius. Now the third example is of importance. They are saying 8.5, a kettle containing water at 30 degrees Celsius. So remember, we have to put 30 degrees Celsius is heated to 100 degrees Celsius. Find the change in temperature first in degree Celsius. In degree Celsius, that is easy, because change both are given 100 degrees Celsius minus 30 degrees Celsius, which is equal to 70 degrees Celsius. That is easy. They wanting us to calculate zero, the change in temperature first in Celsius. Both are given in Celsius, so we will subtract the smaller value from the larger value. Now second part is a bit tricky. They wanting us in Kelvin, how much change that will be in Kelvin. So first of all, 30 degrees Celsius will be equal to 30 plus 273. So that will be equal to 303 Kelvin. 300. And similarly, 100 degrees Celsius will be equal to 100 Kelvin plus 273 Kelvin, and that will be equal to 373 Kelvin. Now we found for 30 this value and for 100 this value, so we can easily subtract and find the change in temperature, and that will be equal to 373 Kelvin minus 303 Kelvin, and that will be equal to 70 Kelvin. So if that kettle is changing its value from 30 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius, that will be 70 degree Celsius. And if it is changing from 303 to 373, again it is 7, and that is what I told you, that 1 Kelvin is nearly equal to 1 degree. You can note that in both cases the difference is the same. One is 70 Kelvin and one is 80. uh, this is 180 87. So no, one is uh, 70 degrees Celsius, and I am coming to this, which is not 70 Kelvin and 70 degrees Celsius are equal. They are. So that is why I told you, and I told you that I will refer, and in this lecture we will prove that 1 Kelvin is nearly equal to 1 degree. Nearly we are saying, not perfectly, because there is 1.5 with it. So nearly equal, not perfectly equal. Okay, that was the whole story about the Kelvin or absolute scale. Now we are coming towards the next topic, and that is the thermometric liquids. Thermometric liquids are used. There are commonly two types of thermometric liquids are used inside thermometer. What are the advantages and disadvantages of those liquids? We will discuss that, but first we have to discuss that there are two: mercury and alcohol. Before going into the detail, I am telling you that mercury is used to measure a bit higher temperature than the thermometer using alcohol. Alcohol based thermometers are used to measure low temperature. How? We will discuss that in a moment. The thermometers in which mercury is used are having few advantages and few disadvantages. What is the first advantage? It is good conductor of heat. Yes, this is the first advantage of mercury, that it is good conductor of heat. What does it mean? It means that it will reach the temperature of the surrounding very quickly. That is one advantage of it. The second advantage of it is it does not wet the tube. The capillary tube in which it is containing, it does not wet the tube. It means that it is not clinging to the tube. So without any resistance, it is expanding, and it will not wet the tube. The third one is it has a high boiling point. Yes, it is having 357 degrees Celsius is a boiling point. This is another advantage. What does it mean? It means that we can measure the temperature. High temperature is 357 degrees Celsius when we are using mercury inside that. Now, alcohol is not having that much boiling point. So we can record the temperature, high temperature of 357 degrees Celsius on the uh, thermometer which contain mercury. Okay, that is why we are using mercury. It expands uniformly. Ladies and gentlemen, why we are not using water? Because it is not expanding uniformly when heat is given. Heat will be absorbed by that, and it will not expand. So, one very important aspect that we are using mercury in thermometer is it expands uniformly. When heat is given, it is uniformly expanding, so it means that it will give you the correct value of the temperature of environment. So this is another advantage. Now the next advantage is it responds quickly to the temperature changes. The situation in which we require quick response to note the temperature, we are using mercury. Mercury is responding very quickly as compared to the alcohol. Alcohol is responding slowly. The situation in which we are not requiring quick responses, or then we use alcohol. But for quick responses, if we are noting down the temperature of a baby, then we need quick response inside 1 minute to note the temperature. Then we have to use this mercury because it responds quickly to the temperature changes. This is another. The next one is it has a visible meniscus. When we are saying inside the thermometer, we can see that this this is the meniscus of the mercury. We can see it very clearly inside the thermometer. That is another advantage we are using. If we are using water inside it, we will never see that, where we have to do it like this, and then we will not be able to record the correct temperature of that body. Alongside the advantages, there are few disadvantages as well, but disadvantages are less as compared to the advantages. So that is why we are preferring mercury. The first disadvantage is it is venomous. It is poisonous. I told you in one of my earlier lecture that mercury is very dangerous, and few countries of the world like UK, we are having special teams to come and collect that mercury from the floor. So this is the disadvantage, that mercury is poisonous. Its expensivity is fairly low. So it means that it is expanding to the less amount. This is, so it will expand till this area and it will not go from that. So its expansion is less, not that much more, so that we can calculate the temperature of 200 to 2000 degrees Celsius. It is not expanding that much. This is the disadvantage of thermometer, that it is expanding less. To a certain extent, we can record the temperature, but not above than that. This is another advantage. It has a high freezing point. It has a high freezing point, so we can record very low temperature by it. We can record a very low temperature because its freezing point is very high, and that is minus 39. So it means that we can record up to minus 39 degrees Celsius as well, not more than that. So this is also a disadvantage if we are going to Antarctic region and want to record temperature. In many parts of the world, such as Russia, they are observing minus 52 degree Celsius, and there are many other parts of the world in which we will not be able to use this mercury thermometer because it can record low temperature as minus 39 degrees Celsius. So it cannot be used in places where the temperature gets very low. It is written for you. So these were the advantages and disadvantages of the mercury. Now I told you that mostly we are using two type of liquids mercury. So we talked about the mercury, that why using mercury and what are the disadvantages are less as compared to the advantages, so we are preferring it. Now let's talk about the alcohol. In many thermometers we are using the alcohol is the thermometric liquid, which is having few advantages and disadvantages. Let us take first one, advantage. It expands uniformly, just like it is expanding uniformly in case of the mercury. So it is also expanding uniformly. That is why this is the common. So sometimes we use alcohol. It has a low freezing point. In this case, we are having minus 39 degrees Celsius is the low point. But here we are having minus 115 degrees Celsius. So mostly where we need very low temperature, we will use to have this alcoholic thermometer. So it has large expensivity, as in case of the mercury it was having low expensivity, it is having large expensivity. It can be expanded to a large extent. So we can record very large temperature differences. Uh, it is cheap as compared to the this. It is expensive. One, it is expensive. It means that when we are using this mercury, we are consuming much money on it, but it is cheap. So that is one advantage of alcohol. It is a safe liquid, as it was poisonous. So this is a safe liquid. The disadvantages are it wets the tube. Yes, it was not clinging to the tube, but it is uh, clinging to the tube. So this is one disadvantage. It has a low boiling point, 78 degrees Celsius. So it means that we cannot record more than 78 degrees Celsius. Remember, if it is a question that to record a low temperature, which thermometer is used? Alcoholic thermometer. But to record a high temperature, then we have to use uh, I am saying high temperature, not very high. So for high temperature, which is in this case 78 but here we can record 357 degrees Celsius. So it has a low boiling point, so it means that this much temperature is given to the alcoholic thermometer. It will be boiled and we will not be able to record temperature more than that. So this is another disadvantage. It doesn't react quickly to the changes in temperature. Is in this case, it responds quickly to the temperature changes. It does not react quickly to the temperature. So wherever we need a slow process, for example, recording temperature of the weathers in some part of the world, quick response is not. We are taking the values after 10 hours or 15 hours recording the temperature, then this thermometer is good. It needs to be dyed since it is colorless. It is colorless, you have to put dye inside it to make it visible to record the temperature. This is another disadvantage. One thing I wrote for myself that I will discuss, that there are thermometer and the next one is pyrometer. This is not in your course, but just for the general information, I am saying pyrometer are laser base thermometer recording, and that is used for very high temperature measurement from 700 degrees Celsius to 2000 degrees Celsius. We are using pyrometer. You might have seen it during the COVID, that they were putting a device on your forehead, not touching the forehead, but still they were recording that temperature. That is an example of uh, the they are using the laser beam through which data can be transferred from that device to the a body whose temperature is needed to be recorded, and then coming back through this radiation. And that radiation may be infrared radiation, because infrared radiation is used for very small distant communication, as we are using it in the remote control of television. Thank you very much for watching. Allah Hafiz.